it lacks intent, right? It spirals all over the place, and I am thankful to Babes and his practice about just showing how to slow down to speed up, showing how to get in touch with your human side, that kind of perspective. I've dedicated myself to crafting storytelling. Like, I love thrillers and horror, so my niche is always going to have some type of fantasy, some type of something in there. But at the core of it, all of my production pieces, projects, characters, you can have a white boy play, a white girl, Latino, transgender, anybody can play those characters and the story still works. Yep. But I have been dedicated to character development, storytelling, and then highlighting Black LGBT actors who can bring these characters to life, and may surprise you that they have these kind of chops to do that, right? So you provide the opportunity, but don't mold it around an idea about, let me put you in here because you're popular, right?
Let me tell you something. I'm sitting here and my hands are folded, and they usually say when your hands are folded in an interview, it's because you are trying to protect yourself, but it's not. I folded my arms because what you just said was a mouthful. First of all, I've been in this business for 20 years. I had an A&R. I was going to sign with a major record label years ago. I was in studios in New York City years ago. We're talking circa 2006, circa 2007. But this is the thing. People come to you and they think, oh, you just decided to do music one day. Baby, I have a vocal coach. I've had production. Like, wait a minute. I've had media coaching.
Well, that's why. How is that someone's business just to like?
But this is the thing, though. They
don't do that hard work that you're doing.
But thank you, Alex. But this is the thing. They look at you and they think that they can do what you do. And wait, and listen, this is not the part. Like, I encourage anybody to try, but this is my problem. This is my problem. You think that you can do what I do so much that you begin to disrespect me.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's the question. The statement was, "Oh, you just got into music," or rather than, "Oh, what got you into music?" Or what that's the mindset. That's the approach I'm talking about. They just kind of just interject in your life and then assume and then stated that you just hopped in. Because they know you. That's again an entitlement, rather than inquiring genuinely. Oh, well, what got you? You know what? I don't know what. How long have you been doing this?
Same thing with fashion. I started in fashion. People, and it was so crazy because I had been saying it. I've been saying it on my platform for years. Then I started doing these, and then I started interviewing my famous fashion friends. And then they were like, oh, the bitch wasn't lying. No, she wasn't lying.
Yeah. I'm interested in hearing about your time in Paris.
Right. It was a beautiful time because I left listen to this. I left America. I left the Americas for Paris. Well, before that, let me back up. I had been going for years, a couple of years, going back and forth to New York City, living in Philly, taking the China bus for $20 and going up to New York all year round, going to the agencies, request. Oh my God. Okay, so here, I'm going to finish the story. But yesterday I was doing an interview and I was talking to somebody about fashion, and because he's in New York now, and I couldn't remember the name of the modeling agency that I always went to that was for men exclusively. And then when I started telling the story, it was Request. So, Jamar, if you see this, it's Request, the model management company. But anyway, I went up there for years and I was going and going and going, and nobody, and this is the thing, no one would tell me what I was missing. It was always, I'm sorry, you're not what we're looking for. Come back in 6 months. You have the look. They all said that to me. You have the look, but you're just not what we're looking for. So I'll tell you about that in a second, because that translates to a lot. But so I turn around and finally I go to, and I love it, Boss Model Management. I had seen them many times. But this time I'm standing in line. I have on like a little Armani Exchange sweater. It's cold outside. I have my twist in, and they were mine at that time. It wasn't a wig, but you know, I had my twist and they were highlighted, and you know, I'm standing there, and I didn't expect. And this is the thing, you kind of start to expect what you receive a lot of. So I understand how entitlement can go both ways, because if that's what you're used to receiving, then you're going to get comfortable there, and you have to teach yourself not to be so comfortable, to expect change. But that's a whole horse of another color. But anyway, the director, he pulled me out of line. Now, mind you, I also noticed another thing about this line. It was mostly Black wannabe models. It was us. We couldn't get in. We couldn't get in. They didn't want us in. I didn't learn till Paris that when they told me, sweetie, Black people don't wear our clothes. There's no black market here. So they don't wear couture. They don't wear couture. They buy ready to wear, Gucci off the rack, not couture, where a blouse can cost you $50,000. Black people don't do that. They're grabbing.
Because where are we going? Because where are we going?
Okay.
It's just for the show.
Okay. These people, like these, and I love that you said that, because these clothes actually have a purpose for these people. You know, there's outside boots, there's inside boots. If you're riding a horse, like there's a lot to it. But he pulls me out of line and he says to me, you have an amazing look. He says, but listen, I've watched you around New York, because they talk. All the agencies talk. We've seen him. You leave your comp card, your pictures. So he said, I'm gonna do something for you that nobody else will do. I said, what? And all the Black people are listening, like they're listening. Because they're like, because even me, I'm like, why did he pull me out of this line? Like, there's so many people, more people taller, you know, people that I would really look at and be like, oh, that's a model. So he pulls me out of line. He says, have a seat. So I have a seat, and he says, you have everything you need to become a very successful model in this industry. I had never heard that before. So I'm like, I didn't know what to say. And I just said,